Well, you're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, this is the Polity, a program that focuses attention on unfolding political events within Nigeria and even many parts of the world. And joining me in the studio is a media personality and public affairs commentator, Professor Aku Ambosun. Professor Aku Ambosun, you are welcome to the Polity.
Thank you so much.
We don't take it for granted for you to, leave all your programs and within your tight schedule to join us on the Polity. Let me start by asking you, our area of focus today is reactions trailing the ruling by the Supreme Court giving local governments financial autonomy. When the story came out, because the Attorney General of the Federation instituted a case against the so-called domination of local government by state governors. And on the day of the ruling, Nigerians were not told to wait for that day, but it came out, suddenly like a surprise. How did you receive the news and what was your reaction?
For me, I have a feeling that the whole thing was all politics, and I was excited about the whole thing because we're shifting to grassroots governance.
Okay.
If the grassroots are given autonomy, there will be a lot of development at the grassroots. Sewage, primary health care within the local government, cleaning, and then markets, local marketing, entrepreneurship, businesses will start from the local government. For the past 20-something years, 25 years, you discover that the local government are just an appendix of the state government. They are not independent, and they are not functional as expected. You hear someone calling himself executive chairman. What executive powers has he got? There's nothing like the executive about the whole thing, because the governors are still briefing on them. So they take the directive from them. So there's no independence for them. But when I heard the news, I know that something good is about to happen.
Well, Nigerians have continued to react, and including state governors themselves, who were defendants in the case. One of them is the governor of Adamawa State, who has approached Supreme Court for interpretation of some of the, he said, gray areas. And the governor of Oyo State, Makinde, also constituted a committee to take a look at what the Supreme Court has said. You've mentioned earlier that the elections have become political. Why do you think, in your own perspective or from your own view, they are doing that?
I use the word political in the sense that these are structures that help the governors during the election period. They use them for they appoint them, and when it is time for election, it is easy for them to meet them and then negotiate what they need. So the governors, these are the structures. Look at what happened in River State. Out of the 27 local government, the crisis that took place on this 16th of last month, the eternal expired. Yes, and through the court in Port Harcourt, they were able to, all of them, they were chased out. And I don't think what happened in Rivers should be replicated in the states. The security came and chased them out. Police have taken over the whole of River State, and that is local government. And that is not supposed to be like that. Local government are supposed to be a bit independent. They are supposed to be like counties in the US, boroughs in the UK, and in Brazil, where they have a semblance of governors. They provide services to the local people. People feel the governors from that local government. But here, the whole thing is being detected from the state. So if the president does not allow the governors to function, the governor will not be able to do his work. But the governors are not allowing the local government to function, and that is exactly what is happening. They should allow them. I know the fear is about corruption. I know that stupendous money is going into the local government. They may find it difficult to manage. But the problem is that we need to have people who are there to do to check in terms of accountability. At the end of a term or a year, they should be able to find out which projects you'll be able to deliver to be dividends of democracy. People want to see it, visible dividends. Is it there? So people are afraid of that. Will money just go to wrong hands? A lot of money from the federal account is going to the local government. You may have people who are there and they don't know how to spend the money for the need of the people down there. They may pocket it. So that is why there is a lot of fear. People are afraid that it may not work. But it will work. Nigeria, most of our politics is all try and error. For quite a long time, we've been trying, and I think things are going to take shape.
Okay, Professor Ambosun, you have mentioned counties making comparison with jurisdictions that operate abroad, particularly United States of America. I've listened to a constitutional lawyer who argued that this judgment by the Supreme Court was conspiracy against federalism, and he based his argument on the fact that in the United States of America, Brazil and China, and India, for instance, these are big democracies, and federal jurisdictions cover the center and the subnationals only.
The states.
And the states.
Yeah.
Now, states now fund counties as the local government areas. Is it right? Is it right for him to say, and he's a constitutional lawyer, to say it's a conspiracy against federalism?
He's right on that aspect, but one thing is that there are two things that we need to do. Can we restructure Nigeria?
Okay.
We need to restructure Nigeria. If we restructure Nigeria, all these things will not be there. Look at Lagos State. In 1960, we had native authorities. There were 246. Now we have 774 local governments. Lagos State that time, in 1960, Lagos State had only 8 local government. Kano had 20 local government. Today, Kano has 44 local government.
Yes.
If you pump in money, some of the local government, they are not doing anything. At the end of the month, they rush in to pay salaries and go. So, and that is the fear we don't want. We want them to sit down, ensure that they work. People need to work. The agitation by labor is just because so many of them, they don't go to work. They come to work maybe 10 o'clock, or when the time for salary is due at the end of the month, they rush to collect salary, and they don't work. You need to visit the local government, you see what is there. It is very pathetic. Some local government, they don't do anything. Only the head of department, you go there, you see them in the offices. But nothing is happening. Okay. For my local government, if you go there, I'm from local government Kaduna. Okay. If you go there, you'll not be happy with what is happening there. They need to provide services for the people. The hospital, local hospital, they need to work. Roads need to be worked. Yeah. Cleaning of markets has to be done. Streets need to be, they need to name streets, and there's nothing like that. If you go there, the whole place is dirty. Okay. And people are sick. Drainages need to be clean. We need to replicate the Environmental Protection Agency in all the local government. They don't have them. They have offices, but they are not working. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Now, Prof, on the polity, we try to make our, topics of discussion conversational and interactive by opening our telephone line. My producer is going to display the telephone line on the screen. Is there right there, and for viewers to call so that you can make the program more interactive and conversational. It is your show. Mr. Ambosun, let me ask you. The Supreme Court also ruled that state governors do not have the power to dissolve elected council, leadership, by replacing them with caretaker committees. In some states, we still have caretaker committees. What's the implication of that?
It's not okay. It's not normal. When you put, you just appointed people there, they're supposed to go through the electoral process, and it's INEC that is supposed to have conducted it. States, they have their own state electoral commission. It is not proper. If we go back to what the Supreme Court has just said, every state should have, INEC should be able to conduct election for them. And those that were elected normally through the state, they had to finish their 3 years tenure before you can bring in another. Just like what happened in River State. Their tenure was either 16th of June. So a new election, a new crop of leaders are supposed to be appointed now or elected for the local government and all over the states. Okay. I understand they just had one in Adama.
Adama, yes. I'll come to that. Yes. I'll come to those elections and the one of Delta recently. Yes. But let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to the Polity.
Hello, good afternoon, Maucauley.
Yeah, thank you.
Sally calling from Jos.
Sally, you're a regular caller. I salute you from Jos. Go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Thank you very much. I welcome the prof in the studio there, and I'm glad that he has a very passionate understanding of what the local government is and how it ought to be.
Okay.
Now, last time I called, I spoke about you making a program of the local government, and now I'm happy you're doing that.
Yes. Now, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, we're going back to the issues. I was told, then I wasn't born because I was born in the mid-80s.
Okay.
But I was told in the 80s and the early 90s, people leave federal government, leave the state government to go back to the local government and work. They would take transfer of service back to the local government. And now the thing is from local government to state upward. What it means is that as we are talking about democracy, people tend to put more emphasis on the center, meaning that everything that we talked about is always put on the president's hand. And once if you are the president, and I also mentioned that the president does not know most of those local governments. He has never been there. He doesn't know anything about it. So at the end of the day, that enthusiasticness of empowering the local government does not come to bear. For instance, when you talk about the prof spoke about INEC conducting election, I totally agree with that, and I mentioned it the last time I called.
Yes.
Because of why issue of state independent electoral commission means that if the governor is APC or PDP, everybody there wins the election. Look at what happened in Adamawa.
Yeah.
You can understand that. Yes, you can understand that the people of the governor's party just fight themselves to win the ticket. They know if they win the ticket, they don't need to win the heart of the people. The people, whether if the governor allowed it to fly or not to fly, they know that they are going to do 100 over 100. It's only one governor that I've seen in this country when he was governor, that's Governor El-Rufai, that allowed PDP to have 4 local governments as governor, while APC won the rest. So I believe that if we keep the election open, you see, politicians are not doing justice to Nigerians. If they allow even the governors themselves, if they will be very fair to themselves, everybody is their own. They should open, even if the federal government is not going to cancel the issue of plastic or whatever they call them, the State Independent Electoral Commission. Let them allow every politician is their own. As long as you are a governor, you are not a governor for APC or PDP or Labour Party. You are the governor for all. Everybody should come and vote. As long as those chairmen know that the votes will count, believe you me, we will get good people, good hands, experienced hands that will man the local government. In some places in the south, you have professors vying for councillorship. But here in the north, somebody with secondary school that did not even finish will go and vie for position. Why? Because of if the governor supports him, is okay. So please, this issue of local government should be hammered upon, and then get good hands that will manage it. Elections should be taken away from State Independent Electoral Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sally, our regular caller. We appreciate your contributions always on the polity. You raised some issues that you'll be led to react.
Yes, he made so many cogent statements. We need to take away let every state government, if I elected as a governor, you should respect any person who is there. There should be independence. There should be credibility in terms of election. If you don't have interest in going to politics, they can't elect you. But the main problem has been imposition of people. We bring in people, we say, this is my brother, this is my sister, help the person. Politics is not about help. You must have idea, you must have a big picture of what you want to present to the people or do to the people. You must have a program. Within 3 years, this is what I'm going to do for the people. No amount of imposition can change that. If you go there and you're a dunce, that is exactly what you're going to do. You will leave the place without adding anything to that. No value. You won't add value to that local government. People want to see development at the grassroots. People want to see development. And that is where there is craze for people moving from local government. They want to go to the federal.
Yes.
If there is development in grassroots, tourism, like look at just the whole of the Middle Belt and other parts of the country. If the areas are good, you will not like to move and come to Abuja. If there is peace there, and that goes back to the issue of insecurity. If there is security in all these areas we're talking about, people would like to stay in the local government. When you retire, you prefer to stay there instead of rushing down to Abuja. People are rushing down to Abuja because of security. We need security back home so that the locals can also enjoy that environment. There should be peace there. And peace means what? All those who are settlers, let them know that this is Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to them. You can't go there and destroy that environment and then run away. And that's what is happening. It has happened in the whole of the... I used Middle Belt as a case study. If you look at it, they will destroy your farmlands. And if you don't have anything to fall back, no food, there's going to be hunger because of that. So we need peace at the grassroots, at the local government. The third tier of government needs good governance. So we need responsible people to go in there. He mentioned professors. Yes, we need people to go in as councillors, people who are educated, who are ready to serve the people. Not going there because of the monetary aspect of it. You go there to serve. The service is more important than getting the money. The money comes in to help you, but you need to go in and serve the people. And people are not ready to go and serve. All what they're thinking is to make big money and then run to the cities. We need to develop the rural area.
If I understand, Professor, very well, you advocated replacement of charlatanism, mediocrity with meritocracy.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
You know, that brings to mind the elections that happened in 2 states. And those elections took place immediately after the Supreme Court pronouncement. The governors did not wait and to study even the judgment. Adamawa State is one point. In Adamawa State, there are 21 local governments.
Yes.
There were only 21 forms made available for 21 candidates. That's from within the political party of the ruling party. Already, many people have been disenfranchised. People are okay with it. The opposition, the 3 major opposition parties did say at the press conference, separately, that they were not going to participate. One of the parties, that's the All Progressive Congress, said they were even going to court. At the end of the day, last week Saturday, the SIEC, that's the State Electoral Commission, announced the verdict, and all 21 local governments were cleared by the ruling People's Democratic Party. The same thing was replicated in Delta State, where they have 25 local governments.
Only one NPP.
Only one NPP. And that also brings to mind during RFI, where Sally, that called from Jos, said, RFI considered 4 local governments. Perhaps somebody might end up saying he did that out of political expediency or to create semblance of neutrality so that he will not be accused of, creating a one-party state. How would you react to those issues?
Our political leaders, some of them are behaving like military governors. They behave military governors. If you want to talk politics, you don't force people to vote for a party. And that imposition comes in when you give them money. It's true money. It's monetary inducement that has made all this to happen. And maybe the governor is thinking of something bigger tomorrow. Maybe he wants to leave and go to the Senate. He wants to leave and become an ambassador. So he's thinking, preparing his structures.
That's
exactly what it is.
It's about structure.
So and that's why they are afraid. They don't want the local government to have autonomy, because the carpet will be removed and they will be left stranded. Just like what is happening in rivers. I use rivers as a very wonderful thing.
Yes.
And Ikiti too, they have so many local governments. The last governor, before he came back, they have about 58 local governments. Why do you have so many local governments? That's what is even paining me. We have too many local governments and they are not doing anything. They just go there at the end of the month, draw salaries. So we want to see projects back home. We want to see projects at the local, at the grassroots.
Now, Prof, when politicians talk about structure, is it that they forget that about the ephemeral nature or transient nature of political positions?
They don't look at it. They are thinking of now. If I can't make it now, it's going to be a problem tomorrow.
So their thoughts are not futuristic.
No, they are not futuristic. And what we need transformational leaders. Not transactional leaders. They are transactional leaders. I look at them. We need transformational leaders to lead this country. We need development. It's not about just collecting a lot of money and then at the end of the moment you don't see anything. It goes into paying liabilities and a lot of things going. Money, people want to see it visible on the ground. Projects, I remember what happened in a Boeing. My son served there when he did his service. There were development there. Even River State, there were development. The same thing would acquire. When people want to see things on the ground, they want to see good hospitals, they want to see schools. Go to local government. If you see the primary school there, you'll not be happy. They are not fenced, they are not painted, they don't have toilets. Go to the primary school and see. I've seen it in my local government, and it's a sad development for us, for democracy.
Okay. Well, viewers, let me remind you that it is your show. You can call to participate by making your contributions, because local government chairmen you are their responsibility. They are there to serve you, not to be a master. So, the only way is to hold them accountable, and that's what informed the Supreme Court's ruling. And now let's talk about the joint venture. Before I ask the next question, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. You're on to the POLITY on KAFTAN Television, live from Abuja.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We can hear your name, sir.
My name is Azia. I'm calling from Abuja.
Azia, I remember the name, Abuja. Go ahead,
Yes.
Aziz. You're a regular caller. Your comment, sir.
Yes. You see, this issue of the state sex, they are the major foot soldiers of the governors. They are the creation of the governors. And then they do everything. I remember there was a state in Nigeria that local government election was being conducted. They've not even finished the local government election. They are already announcing in the state radio of the candidates that won the election. They've not even finished the election. Before 3 o'clock, they've already started announcing winners. And then there was riots. Riots broke out everywhere because those other parties were feeling as if, okay, they are going to have a semblance of an election. You see, the prof spoke about the issue of creating a local government whereby they have environmental, they do a lot of things. The local government is even beyond that. The local government can do roads, can do anything they want to do, build markets, control everything within their domain. It's a very big business. Now, the governors did all those things. They forced Obasanjo to make them have full control of the local government in 2003. Because of then, if you notice in Nigeria, if Algon is having meeting, everybody is panicking. All the governors are panicking whenever Algon is doing meeting. That is a local government chairman, the association. Because then the governor doesn't have power. The chairman has power more than them. That is why they have control. Now look at it. The governors control the president, whether you like it or not. Because of if the governor wants to win election, you see him going from one state to another, going to government house, giving the governors money for them to hold sway to the chairman for them. Because if a governor holds a chairman holds a councillor, then the results will come in their favor. This thing is a trajectory. It's something that goes from top to bottom. It's not as if they want it to be like that. Now, Tinubu is going to a different way that, okay, the governors are not like it. With the governors, with the creation of still maintaining class sec or NASEC or whatever the sex they have, can they still say that they will get equal result when the governors still have control of the Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in his pocket? He still has the Local Government Service Commission under the state powers.
Yeah.
So the governors still have to, even if you give them financial autonomy, you send money to them. The legislative councils of the local government don't function very well because of we don't bring very educated people that can checkmate even the chairman. The chairman doesn't even sleep in their local government. You find them having their houses in the state capital.
Yes.
Yeah. So the governor himself know where his chairmen are. All the time. You see governor wants to do meeting, he wants to do meeting five times in a week or 3 times in a week with the chairman. Why can't you just set up meeting for them? How you people can do a collective meeting while everybody is in his local government? These are the things that we have to check. If we want the system to work, the election needs to live from the sex first. Once INEC start conducting, then we'll start getting things right. Very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aziz, our regular caller from Abuja. Will you react to some of the issues?
What Aziz has said is correct. The main problem has been issue of corruption. Corruption has eaten deep into the system.
Yes.
Corruption is a badge. People are moving around with it as if it's an entitlement.
They are on pattern.
Yes, pattern of life, and that is exactly what has destroyed our country. Until we punish people who are corrupt, like what they do in China. In China, they execute you, but here we celebrate people who steal money. So, and that is what it's not going to add to our development at all. We need to change the pattern of recruitment. Recruitment in the sense that if you look at the local government.
Okay, recruitment. I'm coming to that.
The recruitment system is faulty. We are talking of unemployment. How do we treat unemployment?
Let's take this caller, Prof. You're welcome to the POLITY. Good afternoon. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Hello.
I can hear you. Hello, we can hear you.
I'm not hearing you.
We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
We can go on. Your name, sir. Your name and where you're calling from. Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your comments. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, it's not just the local government also that we need here. We need the judiciary to be autonomous in its ruling, in its financing, and we need the electoral commission to be autonomous too financially.
Okay.
Then, you see the second chapter of the Constitution. We need to increase the consequential in it so that when one is elected to perform his duty and he or she feels the consequences will be that relative to that of China.
Can you raise your voice? Can you raise your voice? Could you raise your voice a bit, please?
Otherwise.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. Okay, go ahead, sir.
What I was saying is that corruption has eaten into the system. Until we begin to punish people, we can't get the result we need. And then I mentioned the issue of recruitment system. Yes, at the local government level. We don't look for, if you look at Britain, those who serve with government are first-class people. But here it's not like that. We recruit anyhow here. If I know you, if I know you didn't do anything, I know you are my relation, I give a paper, they give you employment. You can't add value to the local government. We need people who will be there to ensure that there's change in that local government. They bring improvement to local government. The works department needs engineers, they need architects there. The media department needs people who read sociology or journalism. You have to be there. Education, the same thing. So that they will be able to charge a program for these primary schools they have and secondary schools they have within their jurisdiction. Nothing is happening at the local level, and it's just because of that. The issue of revenue generation, one of them mentioned it.
Yes.
We need the local government to be up and doing. They need to generate revenue every week from the markets, and that means they must develop market.
Yeah.
The market system needs to be developed so that they're able to make money from the market. You have to fence them, build stores for them. If you don't do that, you can't get money from anybody.
Motor parks.
Yes, if you drive through Kurudu or Rosso, you see the market is on the road. Well, how can you tax people who are selling on the road?
No, you can't.
You are supposed to collect revenue from them.
So
they just stand on the road. During rain, they just collect the items and move away. So you cannot force them to pay anything. So we need to have a market that is properly developed for revenue generation for the local government. So we need competent people to be there, not mediocres. One of them mentioned that a chunk of them, they don't live in the local government. It's true.
Yes.
My local government is the same thing. It happened like that. The chairman was living in Jos, one was living in Akwanga. So how do you track developing your local government?
You can't.
If you are afraid of insecurity, you can't go and stay in another local government. Stay in a local government and ensure that you provide security there. So and that is one of the areas we need to tackle. Issue of insecurity within the local level needs to be tackled immediately.
Okay, now let's talk about joint account, this state local council joint account. One of the reasons for creating the joint account was because local council bosses were alleged to have been looting funds made available to them. They were not able to pick their bills, including payment of teachers. And I've had arguments that ever since the joint account became operational, teachers have not been owed. No state has owed teachers. Could that be true?
I don't know whether it's true, but I think they've been paying teachers. But what I think we need to do, we need to ensure the local government, they are going to have autonomy now.
Yes.
How will they be able to pay minimum wages coming in?
Minimum wages coming in.
And the states are going to, that's another big problem for the states. Because all the states, they can't pay the same wage for all of them.
It's going to be deregulated.
They have to deregulate it. It has to be like that, because if you live in Adama and someone is in Taraba, the condition of living, social condition there and Abuja is quite different.
Yeah.
So accommodation in Taraba and Abuja is quite different. So there has to be a bill subsidy for some of these things that people need. Maybe accommodation, maybe transport, maybe even food. There has to be subsidy for food, or there should be an allowance for them. You pay the civil servants something apart from their salary. You have to give them something to cushion out this effect.
Yeah.
If you do that, the issue of minimum wage will not be a problem for the states, because now government is pushing the whole thing to the states now, and that is we're going to enter another crisis.
We're going to enter another crisis
very soon, and this crisis will require people that careful statecraft, people who are ready to negotiate properly, to negotiate with the pain. They know that there's pain in the system, but how can we accommodate all the grievances that are coming up, and we know the reality, how can we accommodate it? So that is going to be a problem for government. Government need to look at that aspect thoroughly and ensure that a living wage is given to these people. No matter how small it is, the youth corps are collecting about 33,000. So if someone is working in the ministry and you give him maybe 70 or 18,000, that it may be okay. But you have to pay. There should be something for accommodation. There should be something for transport. That's why you see civil servants coming to work just about 2 or 3 times in a week, which is not okay.
Yeah.
It is arresting the work of government. So, and that is an area that government needs to address and then ensure that those loopholes are being blocked. They are being blocked, or else we create room for more corruption. Yeah.
Now, Prof, let me ask you this question. If you remove about 5 to 6 states, which can be said to, stand on their own, if you deny them or if you stop giving them monies that are being shared on a monthly basis from Abuja, only few states can stand on their own. The remaining states always rush to Abuja to collect these monies and go to their various states. And in the last 2 days, they've shared over 1 trillion naira, the three tiers of government. Now, the Supreme Court made a pronouncement that any state that does not have elected local council, caretakers committee that are in place are illegal. They are not going to get any funding. But they've just shared over 1 trillion naira. What's the implication?
The implication is that the state government, they may keep the money in the account pending when elections will be conducted. But one big problem is that we have so many states. The governors, are they actually thinking? Every state has
what it takes.
There's no state that is not rich in Nigeria, where our eyes are just on oil. It shouldn't be oil. Go to Katsina, go to Zamfara. They have gold there. They have mine there. They have solid mineral.
Yeah.
Are we thinking of mining those ones? We need to think of what we have. Go to Jos. Go to Jigawa. There is no place in Nigeria that is not blessed. But the governors, they have geological survey. We should be able to know exactly what we have underground. Go to Taraba. Taraba is very rich too.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon. Let's take this caller, Prof. Please, this is the Polity. Good afternoon. You're welcome. We have lost the caller. Go ahead, Taraba.
So the attention is just on oil.
On oil.
Yes. If we can remove our eyes from oil, go back to our Greek. The whole of Middle Belt, we can feed the nation. But no one is ready to feed the nation because of kidnappers, because of headers. They go to your farms and destroy your farms. And we have solid minerals all over the country. We've not developed that aspect. We've not gone into development. No one is thinking of that.
Okay. We have a caller, Prof. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the Polity.
Good afternoon, Sally again.
Sally.
Your program today is a very interesting one.
Sally, it's a pleasure always talking to you. Go ahead.
Yes, and I want to, in the issue of the local government financial autonomy, where the court said if a transition committee is in place, that no subvention will be given to them. I was told that some governors reach out to the president that they want to conduct election, but this judgment should not be an immediate thing. So it's like the federal government have given a 90 days period where monies will still be paid to those into the joint accounts, while local governments go and have a TSA account that they need to go to the Federal Ministry of Finance and have registered with TSA where money can be sent to them. They don't have those documentation. So now they have to do those documentation. So government have given them 90 days window. And most of the states are conducting election within that 90 days too. Like in Plateau, I know that in August, in August, a local government election will be conducted.
Yeah, okay.
So that is what I wanted to inform the Polity today.
Okay, beautiful. Sally has opened a new vista of conversation here. Thank you, Sally, for that revelation.
Yes.
I didn't even know about it, but now we know.
I think the money, the governor will keep it. They know that they can never stop the local government. They can't stop the local government. So that money is they are just withholding until when they conduct elections.
Okay.
It has to make the whole thing legitimate. If not, they can't withhold that money. And the president cannot withhold their money, so they can't withhold the one for the local government. We want the local government to operate like how they operate in Brazil, how they operate in US, how they operate in UK.
India.
Yes, but our local government, we don't have native police. We used to have native police.
Yeah, we used to
so
have.
they're supposed to be at the local government. Local government is supposed to foot their bill too. So, and to reduce the issue of crisis, so many youth that are not employed, they go into crime. So if you have local police, it will actually help.
Okay.
Yes.
You earlier talked about a recruitment process that is faulty up initio, and now I want to link the recruitment process with funding, emanating from the federation account. Don't you have fear that if a governor, in spite of what the Supreme Court, the ruling the Supreme Court gave, don't you entertain fear that when a state governor influences the emergence of, of a local government chairman, as it is in Adamawa and Delta State, they will still have control over the source of funding or the funding that arrives at their local government?
They will, and even in recruitment, they'll control. They only recruit those who are PDP members.
Yes.
And the same thing with the APC control state. The same thing with Kano, where they have MPP. So, and that is not healthy for our development.
Okay.
We should look at Nigerians and Nigerians. And that's why I keep telling people, anywhere you go, we need to remove that stigma. I'm Joko, I'm Nizam, I'm this. No. You are in Nigeria, you are in Nigeria. Remove that tribe, remove the religion. In US, that's how Americans, anywhere they go, look at Barack Obama, where he won the election. He went there as a black man, and he won election there. Yeah. He didn't say, he didn't mention anything about where he was coming from. And that is exactly what we're supposed to accept ourselves as Nigerians. If you're an Igbo man or how someone you live in a place, you should be accepted there as an indigenous of that place, as a member of that community. We have settled, like that is the crisis we're having in so many local communities. Some of them they settle and then create confusion. But some of them they settle and they are aiding, they are improving the economic livelihood of that community, which is okay.
I've spoken to somebody in the morning who is of the view that state electoral commissions should not conduct election. But that will not be possible except if federal government or any well-meaning Nigerian goes back to Supreme Court to say, hey, elections at the subnational level should be conducted by federal INEC. What do you think?
The federal INEC, like what I've mentioned before, they should be the one to conduct the election. But there has to be a liaison between them and the state. That means you are foreign of the state. The state can be part of, reduce some stuff and let them join. That means you are increasing the staff of INEC. So I don't expect the state to conduct elections. Okay. But I know the state will conduct elections between these 90 days so that they remove their hands from the blame that will come later. Okay. There will be a blame later. And if the presidency decide to have INEC conduct the election in future in all the local government, that means standardizing the whole thing, bringing everything to a part. So, but now governors that have not conducted election, they will rush within these 90 days to conduct election, and you can't stop them. Yeah. Now, stop them.
The president and the vice have 4 years tenure at the first instance, and with the eligibility to contest second term. So also the governor, so also the senators, House of Rep members, they all have 4 years at the first instance with eligibility to throw their hat in the race again for second term. At the National Assembly for continuously, why is that of the local government so different? Why can't we have a harmonized tenure system, tenure structure?
I think the local government, because it is a third tier, and they were a creation of the military.
Yes.
Okay, colonial government and then military. Since the civilians came in, they have not created any local government.
No, they have not.
All what we have are local government, local development areas, like what they have in Edo.
I'm interested in that, so hold your thoughts. So let's take this caller first. Good afternoon. We are on to the POLITY from KAFTAN Television Studios in Abuja. Hello, you are on. Are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
I am King Zahraddin from Taraba State.
Zahraddin, go ahead.
Yes. This, what happened, the Supreme Court ruling has been a very, very, very good thing. to the local government and to the security situation in Nigeria. Because this will give local government chairmen the chance and the field for them to perform their duties. And looking at how the thing is, you see a governor will appoint a chairman, and if the chairman is not working based on his political ambition or political bias, he will decide to impeach that chairman and install a caretaker, which is very wrong. Okay. There is no way to remove an elected chairman into the office of the chairman, remove him and bring another person. You see, that will bring problem and will bring misunderstanding between people. So I see this is a very good thing. And one thing that the federal government need to do once more, apart from the autonomy, is to set up a supervisory committee that will supervise the local government, because I know most of the chairmans now, they were happy that the money will be transferred to them in the sense that they will use it or they will disburse it the way they want. They should even check on the law, giving them the power to use that funds that will be transferred to them, so that they should use it responsibly, and they should look upon the people and do what the people want, because the local government chairmen are those most close to the people, more than the governors. So I see this is a very good thing, and we appreciate it. We appreciate the Supreme Court ruling.
Thank you, Zaharuddin. Zaharuddin from Taraba said that was the question. Okay, continue on that line of thoughts, then I'll ask you the next question.
No, we're talking about ensuring that the local government have been empowered. The moment they're empowered, all these things, the issue of election will come normally if it is true, ANEC. There will be no crisis. And I say within the next 90 days, I'm sure all those states that have not conducted election, they will do the election. Okay. Just to correct their anomaly and then ensure that everything is at par all over the federation. So I think we're just on the correct path, and we're going through, Nigeria is going through what I call gestation period. Gestation period. Yes, we're going through some crises, but very soon those crises will fizzle out, and then there will be peace. That's how I look at it. I
was listening to a sister, TV network today. Someone said the best, checks and balance mechanism at the local government is the people, the local community, because the chairman or chairperson will emerge from within themselves. They know his house, they know how wealthy or how poor he has been before he became chairman. So monitoring will be so easy and so seamless, because he lives within them. If he buys a new car, they know. They know. Yes. If you buy, what do you think?
It's true. No, it's true. If you're a teacher and you live with them and they suddenly elect you as a chairman, you have to go and live that frugal type of life. Yes. But the moment they see you living flamboyant life, they know that yes, this one has started putting his fingers into the till, so we need to check him. Yes. But we need people. We need a fallback mechanism that will make them know that when they touch something, yes, EFCC or IPC are there, ICPC are there to checkmate them. Because we are so greedy as a people, we are so selfish as a people, and I think we don't fear God. And we don't fear God, and we don't fear the people we are serving. That's why all these problems are coming in because of that. The fear of God is not in us. So that's why there's a lot of wickedness. There's a lot of wickedness, and people are not putting back and giving back, cropping back to the communities. So we need to crop back to the communities to ensure that there is development there. If there is development, we are going to be happy as a nation.
Now, someone also said the contest for local government chairmanship will be fierce and competitive. Why would it be that competitive? You have mentioned that professors like you, should go back to throw their hearts in the race so that they can provide service because they are educated.
It's going to be competitive in the sense that directors who have left the service, possibly they want to go back home. Yeah. They should be able to go. We need people who have knowledgeable, who have the experience, they work with civil service. They should be able to go back and crawl back and do better at the grassroots. Maybe they have not contributed in doing anything, maybe in terms of scholarship or even building some local roads within the community, providing social amenities within the communities. this is the time for them to go back. So the competition is going to be fierce because more educated people are going in there. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. And I hope and I pray that the traditional institution there will be able to allow a level playing ground, and then the politicians who are out there at the state will allow people who are competent to go in and contest. Because the problem has to be, if there's a stopgap somewhere, people will not be able to do well there. So there has to be a level playing ground.
Okay.
Yes.
Now that states still have the responsibility to conduct, elections at the local council level through their CX, the state electoral commissions, someone was of the view that, we see the emergence of charlatans and mediocres because of this imposition syndrome by state governors. But he now concluded by saying we shouldn't bother. They will soon fizzle out. Exactly.
Yes.
So next election, apart from this one, beyond this one, will be square pegs within square holes.
Yes.
Do you share the same view?
I share the same view, and I believe that INEC will take over the conduct of election at the third tier of government. And if they do that, we're going to get a very good nation. Things will begin to work.
Okay.
That's why
So you're optimistic?
I'm optimistic about the whole thing. We get good councillors, educated councillors, people who go in there ready to serve, not just going to collect salary at the end of the month. No.
Okay.
They sit on their desks, they have offices. Some of them, they don't have offices. It's only the chairman and the vice chairman. If you go to local government, that's what happens. Only supervisory councillors have offices. Some don't even have offices. They only go there when they have meetings at the council chambers. So we need to have people who are responsible, who are ready to serve.
Okay.
Now
in politics, Prof, they say there's no permanent friend and there's no permanent enemy, but permanent interest.
Yes.
I want to ask this question. Do you foresee a situation where some elected council members who have been imposed, turning their backs against the governor because of the seeming autonomy that they've been given by the courts? But they have a cover, they have a legal cover.
If they do that, we look at them as people who are ungrateful.
Okay.
Yes, they are ungrateful.
That's another thing.
Yes,
that's on the...
Yes. The governor put them there. They are supposed to respect him. So they are supposed to respect him. And that is... respect begins to respect. And that's how I look at the whole thing. And it's a continuous thing. We have permanent interests. Tomorrow you may be in a party A, tomorrow you move to another party. It doesn't change your interest. Your interest is to serve people. And if you are ready to serve them in any party, you should be able to go there. But the main problem in our own society is that if you are in a different party, people there's hatred. People hate you because you belong to this party. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be competition to go and serve.
Yeah.
We are competing to go and serve. So it should be open. There shouldn't be hatred because I'm in APC or in PDP or NPP or Labour. You should hate me. No. It's just look at what happened in Britain. Look at the election. They did it within how many days?
Yeah.
They got their secretaries, a new prime minister within how many hours?
Yeah.
And ministers, they have secretaries now within a short period. And that's exactly what happened. And that is they have interest to go and serve the people. Yes. Yes.
I asked that question because what comes to my mind was there used to be a politician, is still there, holding sway, a very influential Nigerian politician who has the penchant of investing in people becoming governors. And he has invested in people who became governors in the past. One of the governors, the agreement was that he was going to, transfer a certain amount of money, to a certain account. He did that for 3 months and realized that if he continues with that, you shortfall of developing his state. He reneged on the agreement. Although it was an unwritten agreement, he reneged on that, and he performed very well. I don't want to mention names. Yeah. That was why I asked that question. Yeah. Can someone say, look, for instance, I'm the council chairman of Numan local government of Olamurde or Zangon Kataf. Yes, you've provided finances for me to emerge through the leadership selection process that was designed and crafted by you. That's not what I wanted actually, but I've emerged to serve my people. Now I want to leave me alone. I want to serve my people. Don't you see that scenario playing out? Because Nigeria, we have 774 local governments, and that are stubborn.
That scenario will play out, but what we need to do as a people, we need to look at the emergence, how he came, why invest money if you help someone, that is okay.
You know,
but if you look at the whole money in politics as investment,
it's playing out in rivers.
Yes,
rivers
and even Lagos.
And even Lagos. And even Kaduna.
Ambode, a lot of them. Even Kaduna. So if you do that as an investment, it's a very delicate and difficult one.
As an investment.
Someone may not respect you because of that. If you are thinking of getting dividends from it tomorrow, then instead of asking for support, you are asking for money to be sent to you every month. That is wrong. That is corruption already. Corruption. Yes, it's wrong. You should know that God will not accept that. And it's not correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, viewers, on that note, we're going to take a short breather. When we return, Professor Ambosun will still be with me in the studio so that we can continue with the conversation. And viewers, the telephone line will remain on the screen so that we can also call and, still be part of the conversation. But that'll be after the short break. Please stay with us.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Are living in up to 5%. Are young people. We propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
What we found that the 10 naira is not actually sufficient.
National foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. And join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News. While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Are living in up to 5%. Are young people. We propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
What we found that the 10 naira
You're welcome back. If you have just joined us, this is the POLITY, a program that focuses attention on unfolding political events within Nigeria and many parts of the world. My name has not changed. It is still Maucauley Hunohashi. And with me, still in the studio, his name has not changed, is Professor Ambosun, a public affairs analyst and a media personality.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof, for remaining with us in the studio despite your tight schedule. I know you are a very busy person. We don't take your presence here for granted. Viewers, you can still be part of the conversation by calling that telephone line that is on your screen. Let me ask you, before we went on that break, a question was agitating my mind, and that has to do with one of the governors. The governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, convened a meeting with all local government chairmen, and there he did say that they have to look into the homegrown, what he referred to as a homegrown solution for this, that he has not seen the certified true copy of the ruling by the Supreme Court before he convened that meeting. He also said that Oyo State, before he took over, there was a backlog of bonuses, and the last one that was paid was in 2017, and that he has paid for that of 2018, 2019, up to 2023. But there's a backlog of unpaid allowances, which you entertain that fear initially will be handed over to local governments that will be coming. What is the implication of what he's doing?
For him, he wants a safe landing in the sense that he doesn't want to go with a backlog of crisis in terms of financial commitment that's supposed to have been done to the local government. So he wants to do a safe landing. He wants to ensure that all of them are carried along. They ensure that what is happening, he has opened the book, accounting books to them to know that this is how much he got and this is how far he has paid. So they shouldn't hold him responsible tomorrow. So he's a wealthy person too and a very good engineer. We know he has done well in Oyo State.
Yes.
He has done well in Oyo State. I don't think the judgment, the pronouncement by Supreme Court is going to change anything.
Exactly.
Yes, it has. That is the finality of the whole thing. They've made a pronouncement, and that is all. They can't go back to that.
They can't go back to it.
Yes.
Now, he also made a revelation that the state government owes a backlog of pensions and gratuity amounting to whopping 55 billion naira. And when you give local government full autonomy, that also means
they have to pay.
They have to pay.
Yes. So that is going to be a big problem for local government too.
Okay.
Local government will have a lot of bills to pay. Because state government will hands up some of them and hand over to them. The pensioners are supposed to be state, those from primary schools.
Yes,
primary
schools are supposed to be responsibility of local government.
Local government, but secondary school will go to the state.
Building of schools, primary health cares.
Yes, will be local government.
Local government.
So they have enough money.
So now let's talk about IGR. States like Lagos will not have a problem generating internally generated revenue. Port Harcourt and a few other states, because you and I know that one local government in Lagos alone is more than a state like Kebbi, a state like Gombe, you know, which means with this full autonomy, state governments will have a very, very huge minus in terms of locally generated revenue, because the revenues comes from local government.
Yes, it comes from local government.
So how would that affect governance?
It will affect governance in the sense that now is the time for them to start thinking what to do.
They have to be creative.
Yes, they have to be creative in terms of revenue generation, in terms of having industries within their states. Lagos has so many industries, so it's easy to get taxes from them. The same thing with River, the same thing with Akwa Ibom, the same thing with Delta. All these states, they have industries. In the north, no industries.
No industries.
The industry that were in the north, they've all crumbled. No one has revived them. All those textile industries, look at Kaduna, had so many of them, they're dead. They're dead and no one has revived them. And I thought maybe during Obasanjo's period, money was given, but we don't know whether the money went to revive them or it went to the state government. We don't know. I don't know whether, I think there was pronouncement that we're going to revive them. Down to Gusau, so many textile industries, no one has revived them. So we need to go back to manufacturing. Manufacturing is key to improving the revenue generation in the states. Okay. So,
Prof, I remember from 1999 to date, with the advent of this current democratic journey that we have, Algon was a very, very strong association, very, very strong. In fact, I remember that there was an Algon president that was a threat to the state governor, because he was tinkering with the idea of contesting against that state governor, and there was so much bickering, so much internal squabble within the political party. And there was a plan to whittle down their powers, and that thing was succeeded. How much damage has it done to the fabric of our polity by whittling down the powers of Algon?
You see, the issue is about party supremacy. So if you're in a party and you impose a candidate there, all those chairmen, they came in through parties.
Yes.
So the party expect loyalty from them. If you don't, if there is not loyalty, there is going to be that it will withhold all these powers you are talking about. So that supremacy is still there. Any party that is strong, that has a strong chairman, that has a strong working manifesto, all those leaders within the party will respect that party. But why people join and then jump out the following day because they've lost out in election, it weakens the party. So the party structure needs to be strong. If it is strong, then governance will be easy, even at that level. Then the friction between the local government and the state governor will not be there. Because he is the executive governor here, he is the executive local government here. He's a local government. But he is the Oga here. He's still the big Oga here. The state is on jurisdiction, the whole state. So the governor can call you. And you have to respect him. Okay.
I remember their secretariat was located at Maitama.
Yes.
You can imagine
It's a
having a
big,
secretariat at Maitama.
very big secretariat.
Very big secretariat.
Because
Very
of
imposing
contributions from
structure.
the 774 local governments
Yes.
to man, they have a DG there.
Mm.
They have a DG who I think there's a DG, I don't know.
There's a DG there.
Yes, who takes care of that.
Prof, do you remember when they launched the Algon Jeeps? 1,000 Algon Jeeps. It was Rochas Okorocha that that got the contract to, it was a donation to the Nigerian police, patrol vehicles. And it was done by Algon. They can't do it now. But let me come back to the present times. In 2019, there was a state that had an Algon chairman. That is, even without this autonomy,
Yes.
without this financial autonomy, that local government chairman became the Algon chairman of that state. The chairman became very influential because he was the chairman of Algon, to the extent that he too decided in the race to contest for Senate. And the people are now entertaining fear, even without that autonomy. If they could be that powerful, and now with this full autonomy, they can contest with.
Yes.
The contest will be like that of state government contest or even Senate in some states.
They have power there. They have power. And they are at the grassroots. Voting comes from the grassroots. It's not at the state.
Yeah.
It's the local government.
It's the local government.
So all the votes come from the local government. So that's why this pronouncement is going to make them very, very powerful too.
Okay.
And we have to be very careful in the selection process.
Yes.
Election process. We must get people who are ready to serve, not imposing people there. People who are ready to serve, not just picking people based on sentiment or emotionalism. Yes. If there is sentiment, we'll put wrong people there.
Okay.
Yes.
Talking about wrong people, I know you are an optimist. And some people also entertain fear that when local government, with the kind of monies, because the sharing formula by Ramafik, that's Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, is that the federal government takes 56% of the revenue accruing, and then states take 25%, local governments take 20%. Now, with that kind of money coming to local government from the federal accounts, that people are entertaining fear that local government will become so powerful that they will even start blowing sirens with retinue of aides and convoys. Do you entertain that kind of scenario?
No, I don't think they'll have that opportunity to use the siren. Siren is just some few people, the governors, president, and then some generals, military officers who are supposed to do that, from two-star general in the military. So, and if you're a commander, you use that. Local government, yes, they will have money, but that money, they have to be very careful. That means the issue of insecurity, we don't know whether they will take care of that within at the local level, because security at local level is what is giving us headache in the country now, the local government. Okay.
SERAP has gone to court challenging state governors, saying that, and they have only one prayer, that they're calling for the refund of monies accruing to local government all these years. Should that law be retroactive?
No, it's not necessary.
We should just look forward.
Just trying to waste people's time. They just want to exercise the intellectual distance. They want to just go to the waste the court. The court is supposed to throw out that case. Yes.
Many people are worried because all Nigerians, and we know ourselves, and there are calls for EFCC to maintain surveillance on any local government chairman that emerges, to track the monies, transmitted to such local governments, with a view to curbing corruption.
EFCC cannot do the whole thing alone. The whole thing boils down to all of us, you and me.
Okay.
Right at the local government, if we are ready to check, we will be able to check them. When you visit them and they give you 10,000, you keep quiet. That's what happens.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. Corruption money is sweet, and when you take it, you cannot report. That's why you can't check so many of them. It's only the unlucky one that are being caught. But we need to empower the EFCC at the local government now. We need to increase their number, the numerical number there, so that they're able to check. It's not only the local government. There are so many people there that are into wrong things. So we need to have them in all the local government. But the problem is the problem of influence using money on people. That is what it dampers the spirit of people who are ready to work. The moment you influence them, give them money, and they don't work, what they give a different report. You'll not be happy about the whole thing. So corruption has, like what I said, it has gone deeply into the whole system, to our fabric.
Now monies being shared every month are made public, and but we're not being able to track such monies and the utilization of such monies. What do you think has been the problem? No,
you can't track such money. State governors are building roads, they're buying jeeps with some of it. We don't need jeeps in Nigeria, I hope you know. Yeah, now that the fuel thing has come, look at the fuel crisis we're having. We had about 4 refineries that are not working. So, and that's a major area that government needs to have addressed. Government would have addressed that area. The Kaduna refinery, the one in Warri, the one in Port Harcourt, the 2 refineries in Port Harcourt. Yes. They're supposed to be functional. They are not functional. They're not functional. And that's why there's bunkering everywhere. That's why there's bunkering. And why go to destroy even the illegal refineries? During the war, civil war, they were mining fuel illegally, and they were making use of it. Can't you arrest these people and take them somewhere and study their technology and see whether it would be better to refine locally for the nation? Since the bigger one that government has cannot produce enough for the nation, what do we do? Exactly. That's what I'm asking. I don't know what we can do with the years. The military, they go there to destroy the illegal the refinery, and it's destroying the ecosystem there, the environment there. The environment is being destroyed as well. So we need to see, that's an area that government needs to look at critically. Okay. Those people that have illegal refinery, can we pick them and then study their technology and see how it can be useful in a different way instead of going to destroy it? Now, as we wind down, Prof, let me ask you, our headline inflation is about 34%, 34.3%, and just yesterday IMF released a figure of our growth rate, which was downgraded to 3.0%. So in the midst of this economic downturn, there are agitations in this country for the creation of additional states. There's the agitation for the creation of an Anioma state, and then there's another one for Olu state in the southeast. There's the one for creation of additional state in the southwest. Now, these states will come with additional local governments because they will have local governments. The Anioma state is talking about 11 additional local governments. We have 774 local governments. So when you create additional states, although it's going to be difficult under democratic dispensation, but hypothetically speaking, if it happens, do you even support it in the first place? But I support the creation of additional states. Because you need states in your place. What's that? Gurara. They're fighting for Gurara, and I've not heard about it. I need to hear about Gurara state. The fight for this state is just because the dividends has not reached people. People are yearning for the dividend. Yeah. If left for me, would have gone back to the 1960s where we had 246 native authorities. Let's have those local government. Let's go back to those local government. They were functional and people were seeing some dividends. Yes. Let's reduce the number of local government. We can still have more states, but reduce the number of local government. Why give kind of 44 local government and some states have 23, some have even 17. Let's reduce the local government. I'm thinking we should reduce the local government. Okay. Reduce the number of local government. The waste is in the local government. Too many of them, they are not doing anything. I've mentioned it. I've mentioned it separately. You have a local government, people don't even go to work. Only few people go to work. If you go to any local government, you see the whole place, you'll not be happy. You have a secretariat with that people working there. Like my own local government. Okay. If you go there, where is that? Sanga. Okay, Sanga. If you go there, you'll not be happy. And it's all over. I'm just using as an example. It's all over the whole federation. Only some few local government. Maybe Amak, if you go to Lagos, you see people going to local government. People don't go to some of the local government. They only wait until when it's time for them to go collect their salaries. They go there. Teachers, civil servants. That's the time they go there. So we need to reduce, the government needs to reduce the number of local government. We don't need too many local governments. No, we need additional states. Let's go back, we can have more states. We had 246 in 1960? Can't we go back to those 200 or just add a little?
Okay.
A little. It's the same land. We're still having the same land. It's the same land. What are we doing with the resources we have? What are we doing with the resources? We're sharing it. Is it sharing that is the problem? We're not baking the cake. The cake is shrinking and we're sharing. And we're complaining. That's why we're complaining. There's injustice in some area. Can't we correct that injustice? Even in appointments in the states, they have to look at your face. You come from this place, they give an appointment. That's not supposed to be. If we are going to develop our nation, we should be able to get people who are ready to work for this nation, not to look at us which tribe, religion. No, all these ones should be removed. Forget about religion, forget about tribe. It should be competence, or else we will have too many mediocres there.
Okay. There's a sort of thought that believe that we'll not come to the end of agitation for additional state creation. You support this, creation of additional states. The argument is that by the time you begin to show evidence of the possibility or the prospect of a state, additional state being, coming on board from a region, there's another region, because we have 6 regions. For instance, in the north, Mina can argue that they have a very, very vast land. A chunk or a swath land as part of Mina, it remains ungoverned. For you to govern that area, you need to create a state. Don't you fear there will be so much?
I don't think that is just okay. What I think, like what Abacha
is it about geography or is it about population?
It's just a population and then concept. Like what Abacha did, we had 6 geopolitical zones. So if we can just fall back on those 6 zones and let them be like regions for us. Some people are agitating that we should go back to the
regionalism.
And I think
some are even talking about
regionalism brings more competition.
Parliamentary.
Yes, it brings more competition and development than what we have now. There's a lot of wastage today. There's a lot of wastage. We're paying so much to people who are just sitting, debating and talking.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing. So, and that is it. Money needs to go into industries, needs to go into education, needs to go into health, needs to go into roads. Our roads are bad. We need to have good roads. We don't have rail. The rail in Nigeria needs to function. I remember when I was in India in 1976, we went to Port Harcourt by rail. We came by rail from Port Harcourt. We went for one assignment. So we need the rail system to work to reduce the pressure on the roads. We can have rail from here to Maucauley or to my local government. I can live there and come here in the morning.
You can live there and come to work.
Even Kaduna, if it is secured, it will be easy for people to live in Kaduna and come to work, live in Gusau and come to work. It makes it easy like that, so that there will be less pressure on the federal capital territory. That's how I look at the whole thing. Okay. We need to reduce the states. We can reduce the states.
Okay.
Reduce the local government. And if we're going to create states, ensure that the imbalance we had, like the Southeast, I think they have only 6 states.
Only 5.
Only 5. So we need.
And the population is large. Northeast has 6.
So if we can
Northwest has 7.
So if we can have a balance of 7 all around, that is okay. I think the Goodluck Jonathan administration wanted to have 44 local government. I was looking at the one document. If we have maybe 44, if we continue to create, no civilian government has created, president has ever created.
Exactly.
So I think it's.
But why is it difficult? Is it about the 2/3? A bit about?
No, it's not about 2/3. The military, both the legislature and the
military has a fiat.
It's just like parliamentary.
Parliamentary, yes.
The executive and legislature are joined. So there is no third tier there.
There's no third tier.
Yes. So if Supreme Military Council, they are the same people that make the decision.
Exactly.
So until we have the 2 tiers, the executive and then the legislature doing the same assignment, then they'll be able to say, okay, let's create a state here. But the whole thing has to go through the National Assembly for approval. It has to go through up to third hearing before the joint sitting will take a final decision. Then you have to go to all the state houses of assembly for 2/3 approval. So, and it takes a long process.
Do you agree that there should be stringent penalty for infractions at the local government level, particularly financial misappropriation?
It's not only local government, right from the federal down to, yes.
Okay.
Mine is just extra, maybe because from my background as a military officer. what you do in China is sending fears to people. When you steal, they execute you. In Japan, you go and hang yourself. I think there's no punitive measure when someone is caught stealing, because we celebrate them. Yes, there are a lot of things. People just go scot-free. You see people with big jeeps, and we don't even ask questions. So these are some of the things that are making our country, as if people are not happy with what is happening. Nigeria is supposed to have developed more than this. Yes, but people are not happy with what is happening. Everyone wants to use a big jeep.
Okay.
Big jeep, living in Metama.
Big jeep. Are you sure you don't live there, Prof? You don't live in Metama?
No. I don't need to live in Metama.
You don't need to live in Metama.
I need a quiet place.
I know you as a very modest person. And you are a pastor. In addition to the nomenclature, that I know about you, you are a media personality, public affairs analyst, and a pastor. Am I right?
I'm a deacon in church.
Yeah, a deacon in church.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Ambosun, for finding time out of your busy schedule to be with me on the Polity today. I thank you most profoundly. I don't take it for granted. We're inviting you to come. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. It is my pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope when we next call you, you're going to oblige our invitation.
That's okay.
Because you have spoken so well, and you have articulated the challenges bedeviling the local government council. And now that's the size of our package today on the Polity. My name is Maucauley Hunohashi. On behalf of Ruben Okala, our producer, and the entire production team in the MCR, I say thanks for being there with us, and bye-bye. See you next time.